the Tyson Fury team have announced today that the rematch with Wladimir Klitschko will take place on July 9th in Manchester, England. And I'm reading from the Mirror, the Daily Mirror website here. They say that the venue will be the Manchester Arena, but that has not been confirmed by Team Fury. However, in this particular article, which I'll link to in the description below, the Daily Mirror also claimed that this rematch date and venue has not been confirmed by the Klitschko team. So there is apparently still some doubt about whether this fight is actually gonna go ahead. All this latest information is just coming from Team Fury. It's not coming from the Klitschko side. Perhaps it will later on today, maybe in the next few days. We'll have to wait and see. But what I can say is there's been some concern within the boxing fraternity definitely over the past week, and even longer than that. There's been some concern that this fight may actually get pushed back as far as September, which to me would be ridiculous. Why would they need to push it back that far? Why is this rematch taking so long to finalize? What's going on behind the scenes? Is it Team Klitschko deliberately stalling, as Tyson Fury had suggested previously, and as I'd suggested previously, to try and get some type of advantage, hoping that Tyson Fury gets himself out of condition? Is it that? Is it Wladimir having second thoughts about the rematch? Is he getting cold feet? What's going on here? A lot of people are even speculating that the fight might not actually take place at all. And if Wladimir Klitschko wants to fight in the Olympics, he's expressed his wish to fight in the Olympics long before the Olympic Boxing Authority, or the International Amateur Boxing Authority, said that professionals would be welcome to compete in the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio. Vlad said he was interested long before that, a few years before that. So maybe he's going to do that instead and then try and take on Tyson Fury in the rematch later on in the year. I don't know. But what I can say, well, my feeling on the whole issue is surely there has to be some type of cutoff date. There has to be a cutoff point by which this fight has to be finalized by. Surely Klitschko can't keep Tyson Fury in limbo indefinitely. There has to be a date whereby they say, okay, if it's not done by this particular date, the contract is null and void and Tyson Fury can move on to fight somebody else. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully what Team Fury announced today is actually the case, and the fight will go ahead on that date in Manchester, etc. Now, if it does, the rematch, July 9th, that should be ample time for Tyson Fury to get himself in condition if he starts training now. But in the rematch, if Wladimir Klitschko is going to win, if he's going to get revenge on Tyson Fury and get at least some of his belts back, he's going to have to show something which he's never shown before. And I've had this debate with Wladimir fans over the years, but I maintain what I'm saying. Wladimir Klitschko has never really shown true fighting heart in any fight he's been in. Never. Yes, there are fights where he went down and he got up off the canvas. Did he come back with a fighting heart and determination? No. No, he did not. He cowered away, ran away, tried to survive, his face looked frightened. You could see the fear etched onto his face. And the one particular fight I'm thinking about is the Sam Peter fight, the first fight, where Peter dropped Wladimir Klitschko several times with really glancing blows. Nothing really solid landing from Peter. All the knockdowns were very messy, glancing blows. And Wladimir Klitschko really wasn't hurt from any of them. From what I saw, he wasn't hurt at all. He just panicked. He got hit with, a glancing blow from a powerful, aggressive opponent. And he just panicked and he ran away and then took a knee. Is that showing heart? I don't think so. One of the reasons why Tyson Fury won the first fight against Wladimir Klitschko is not just because of his boxing skills. It's because of his heart. Tyson Fury has a heart. He's got a big heart. Wladimir Klitschko don't. And that's one of the reasons that Tyson Fury was able to win the fight. Because he had a guy in front of him in Wladimir who was scared. He didn't want to let his hands go. He was frightened of getting hit back because he knew the guy in front of him was tall and was able to make him miss. And therefore, if he's able to make him miss, what's going to happen? Will I get counted if I miss? Those are the thoughts that started going through Vladimir's head. So he's going to have to show the type of heart that he's never shown before. Would Wladimir Klitschko be able to do what Tyson Fury did? Go into the lion's den against a more experienced, more powerful, in terms of punching power, fighter? With all the odds and all the circumstances surrounding the fight stacked against him? Would Wladimir Klitschko be able to do what Tyson Fury did and become successful? Hell no. Not in my opinion, no way. He don't have the cojones that Tyson Fury's got. So for Wladimir to win the rematch, I think it's somewhat technical adjustments he's going to have to make. But more than the technical adjustments, it's going to be psychological. He's going to have to find some heart from somewhere. He's going to have to find something he's never shown before in his boxing career if he's going to win this rematch. Stranger things have happened. I mean, if you go back to February in, was it 1990 or 91? I always forget, when Buster Douglas fought Mike Tyson in Tokyo. Prior to that fight, Buster Douglas was known as a fighter who lacked heart. Yeah, that's what Douglas was known for. He was known as a talented guy, but who lacked heart. He lacked that real fighting spirit. Well, due to the death of his mother, which was a very traumatic event for him, he was very close to his mom. Buster Douglas found his fighting heart that night when he went up against Mike Tyson. For the first time in his career, he found his fighting heart. And he got up off the floor in the 8th round from a very heavy knockdown, and he came firing back in the next round. There wasn't even a bit of fear in him. So it's not unprecedented for a guy who hasn't shown much heart to pull out an extremely gutsy performance. Victor Ortiz, remember, he quit against Marcus McDonough and what have you. He's quit since. But that night against Andre Berto in the first fight, he showed tremendous heart. So it's not unprecedented. Wladimir Klitschko is going to have to follow those type of examples and show some if he's going to beat Tyson Fury. Fury just has to do the same thing as he done first time. But given the fact that he can wear whatever gloves he wants now, given the fact that it's a venue of his choice, there's not going to be any silly, spongy canvas or anything like that, he should be even more comfortable and he should be able to put on an even better display than he did in the first fight. However, what I will say is this. Boxing fans tend to be extremists. And what I mean by that is their opinions will go from one extreme to the other literally overnight, just based off one fight. And that happened, after the Klitschko-Fury first fight. Because prior to the fight, the general consensus, I know there was a lot of people picking Fury, but the general consensus throughout boxing was that Klitschko would be too good, too experienced, too powerful, etc., for Tyson Fury. And given the fact that he wasn't and Fury outboxed him quite easily, now all of a sudden the general consensus has gone to the other extreme. Okay, before it was at the extreme of Tyson Fury is just, really a hype job. There was still a lot of people calling him a hype job. He's rubbish, he's slow, he's fat, this, that, and the other. That was one extreme. Then after the Klitschko fight, it's gone to the other extreme, where the general consensus seems to be that Tyson Fury is basically the heavyweight Mayweather. That he's on that type of level of boxing science. That none of these heavyweights can get in there with him and compete. And I just think that that is a foolish thing to believe. Now, obviously, they're not comparing him to Mayweather in terms of his style, but in terms of his effectiveness as a boxer, pure boxing, hit and not get hit. As I say, I think that's foolish. Because when you got a guy like Klitschko who's not throwing any punches, it's much easier to not get hit when you got a guy who's hardly throwing anything at you. You look at Mayweather against Maidana, the guys who have landed the most on Mayweather are the guys who've thrown the most punches at him. It's just a law of averages, people. You get a guy like Canelo who didn't throw much at Floyd. Floyd hardly got hit. But if you get a guy who throws a lot of punches at Floyd, like Miguel Cotto, like Marcus Maidana, particularly in the first fight, like Jose Luis Castillo, they landed a lot more punches than the likes of Canelo and other guys who didn't let their hands go. So it's the same with Klitschko Fury. Fury was elusive, yeah, but a large part of the reason why he was so elusive is because Vladimir wasn't throwing anything at him. If you're not going to throw anything, you ain't going to land. A lot of these other heavyweights out there, I've mentioned this many times before, and I'm telling you this is going to happen. When they get in the ring with Tyson Fury, they're going to let their hands go. They're not going to sit back like Wladimir Klitschko did and throw nothing. They are going to throw. And it's going to be a lot more difficult for Tyson Fury to evade the punches. I'm telling you this now. And in time that will be revealed anyway. So if Wladimir does let his hands go, he's really going to test Tyson Fury's defense. He's really going to test him if he starts letting his hands go. If he does find that fighting heart, which I've been talking about earlier on in this video. So it's going to be interesting. But as I say, Tyson Fury has to do the same thing as he done last time. Stick to your boxing, stick on the back foot. Try and make Wladimir the one who has to lead off and then try and capitalize on his mistakes. But as I say, if he starts letting a lot of punches go, maybe Fury's going to have to employ the clinching tactics that Vladimir's been employing his whole career. You never know. Maybe Fury will have to push Wladimir back earlier. Maybe he'll have to tuck up at certain points and try and walk Wladimir back to the ropes and work on the inside a bit more than he did in the first fight. Because as I say, if Wladimir starts letting his hands go, it's not going to be as easy as the first fight was. Definitely not. So anyway, those are my thoughts, people, without me rambling on for too long and repeating myself, which I've been doing quite a bit in some videos lately, especially the longer vids. Drop your comments in the comment section below. If you have confirmation from the Klitschko team, any type of link to any article or press release from the Klitschko team that, whereby they've confirmed this date of July 9th and the venue of the Manchester Arena, please drop the links in the comment section below to enlighten us all. All right? It's your boy Hatman, I'm out.